hopefully the chat thing works okay. As you can see, I had some fun testing it out. Let's just hop in. Now, admittedly, I played a little bit of this just to kind of get the hang of it, but not like this. Gotta find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. And thus begins the case. Boy, am I nervous. Right? Oh, hiya, Chief. Whew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your clan as well. Thanks? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yeah. Actually, I kind of owe him my current job. Or I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Isn't that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death, despair. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. It sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick? Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished? I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. Let me know if I should be narrating this or not, because if not, I'd gladly not, because I kind of have to be quiet. That's why I'm kind of like whispering it. So if that gets annoying, just let me know in the comments, or in the chat rather. This isn't YouTube, I gotta keep reminding myself that. Alright. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself into trouble. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. Rabble, rabble, rabble. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright? This is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge for your client's sake. I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. ... Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Gulp. Hands shaking. Eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. It's Mr. Larry Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me what the victim's name, or what's the victim's name? Whew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... wait. Uh-oh. Nope. No way. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix? Are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I just forgot temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the defendant's name is listed in the court record. You mean this? Cindy. Here we go, Cindy Stone. Okay. Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Let's hear your answer. Who is the victim of this case? Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now, tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was... I think it was this. Yeah. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed now, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Alright. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition that you have in court. Touch the court record button to check the court record frequently. Alright, statue. Statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's rather heavy. Alright, cool. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. Prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it, lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport? According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Alright, passport added to the court record. We should probably check it out when we can. Alright, indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Let's check this out. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on 7:30, the day before the murder, which I guess was 7:31. Alright. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Mrs. Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right? I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I stop him from answering, or wait and see what happens? Let's stop. Let's just see what happens. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oof, wits. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating cheat. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I didn't get to read that. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Is anyone in the stream, by the way? God, I really need to stream on Twitch more often. I don't think anyone is watching this right now, which is kind of sad. Did that Steam notification go through? The announcement? Is there just no one on? No one wants to... Okay, fair enough. Damn it. I get so many more people watching on YouTube than Twitch. Oh well. Oh boy, this is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Gulp. Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Let's have him answer honestly. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order? Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Rabble, 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 rabble. Order, order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Oh god, this guy. He looks crazy. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions. Is this correct? Alright, I don't know why I'm looking through this, but I'm just kind of making sure I'm not missing any details here. I think this might come into play, this cause of death, the blunt trauma and loss of blood from it. We'll see. Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony. Alright. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. Said it was 1 p.m. when he saw it. But time of death was 4 p.m. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Now, Mr. Wright, let me check this thing out real quick. Electricity to Mrs. Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. How convenient. So, noon to 6. That's before and after her time of death. According to, not that, this. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Yes, yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, right. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why you expose the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is it that your client really is guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find the contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Touch the court record button and point out contradictions in the testimony. Sounds good. Cross-examination. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. Isn't a man leaving an apartment a common sight? Wait, why did I say hold it on that? Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. What am I supposed to do even if I find the thing I'm not really sure. We're just gonna roll with this. I find it odd you would take notice of him. I don't know. He just seemed strange to me, that's all. Like, he was mad and yet frightened at the same time. Just like a criminal fleeing the scene of a crime. The defense requests that the witness refrain from conjecture. Of course, what the witness means is that the man he saw looked suspicious. So what happened next? I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. I can't really think of anything to, So there's press him and then present. So I guess present is like throwing like evidence at him about it. Let's see what's next. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. Alright, so this is where we probably throw the autopsy report, right? Go like, hey, Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? I'm not sure I follow. It clearly contradicts the, I thought... You don't sound very convinced, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled. God damn it. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. Nope. Okay. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. Okay. I thought to call the police immediately. Right. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. Okay. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. Okay. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. I don't think that makes any sense. Because of this, right? 4 to 5 p.m. was the time of death. But he was trying to make a phone call about the murder at 1, which is 3 hours before. Unless... Yeah, this seems odd. But let's just make sure. The day before the murder, okay. Noon to 6 p.m. That's when the electricity was out. So this seems suspicious. Or, no, I didn't mean to do... Fuck. I pressed the wrong thing. God damn it. See, I keep pressing... It's not even the fact that I'm getting this wrong, it's the fact that I just cannot, like, understand what I'm supposed to do. Like, I'm pressing the wrong things. Alright, this is what I meant to do, is the autopsy report. You found the body at 1 p.m., you're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that? Oh, This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sawit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, right? Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Damn straight. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? It's time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Right. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on the taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. Yeah, this is easy. Clearly, we just have to press him with the power outage thing. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Bullshit, because there was no television on. If there's a blackout. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. And you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment. There was a table clock in the apartment. Wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. Bullshit. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Hearing the time. Alright. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. Bullshit. He hit him with a statue. I think. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may? Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? You know, it might be a clock, but you have to do stuff for it to function as a clock. And if it was used as a murder weapon, wouldn't it be covered in blood? How would you see the time? Yes. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he either knew the victim or went into the apartment. I mean, we don't really have evidence to suggest that he knows her. He probably does, but I don't think we have any evidence to prove it. We know she's a model, and we know she came back from Paris the day before the murder. So maybe he stopped by their apartment, which would mean he knew that. God, I don't know. I'm just gonna say went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Rabble, rabble. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never. Look, the clock. I heard, no, I mean I saw it. Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn, give him death. Rabble. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright. Your Honor? You claim the sound of the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Sawit heard was definitely this clock, a fact which is clear if you simply... You can examine the clock's batteries, try sounding the clock, ask the neighbors. I don't remember them saying anything about the neighbors. Maybe they did? But we could try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about? While it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it wasn't running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? Or it was running 3 hours slow. If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit. I come all the way down here to testify, and look at what happens. They treat me like a criminal. You lawyers are all slime. Good, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. Chief? Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Probably because of the, oh, I got it. Because the power went out, right? Either because the power went out or because he smacked someone with it so hard it, like, fucked up the clock. That's my only two answers I can think of off the top of my head. Wait. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see if you can pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Alright. pretty sure the evidence is going to be the power outage. Blackout. Excuse me, this proves your claim. How? I can't see what that evidence has to do with the clock. Wait. That wasn't it? You know what? Maybe it's because of the time difference. That would be another explanation. That's my only it's my only option. It has to be something about her coming back and bringing the clock with her. Maybe it's got the different time zone. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It. Or should I say, Mr. Did It. That was so cheesy. Oh, he's dead. Rabble. Order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your client, he was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. And find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Yay. And with that, the court is adjourned. Yay, we did it. It only took us like 8 attempts. It turns out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. I still can't believe we won. Right? Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Nick? Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no, I mean bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this evidence? Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick, and she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to just cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? What is this? What is this? What are they? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, so okay? Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? I'm confused. Am I supposed to be giving him back this? The statue or something? Or the passport? I don't know what they want me to give. Am I supposed to give him the attorney's badge? I'm so confused right now. I don't know. Passport? Here you go, Larry. Proof. Yeah. It's okay, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll forget about her soon enough. Look, I'm gonna head home. Thanks a ton. Guess that wasn't the right thing to show him. Oh, well fuck, I don't know. Shit. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. Well, we'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah. Part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks. And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay me, unless you count the clock he gave Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident, and my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. Oh shit. Oh shit. The end. Wow, okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it there today. But man, this is getting interesting. I really like this game. This is my first time ever messing around in Ace Attorney, so you know, looking forward to playing more of this. Definitely. But like I said, that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. And I'll see you guys around next time. Peace.